it's hard to tell, but it looks like, yeah, it's not gonna focus. We're trying to get it focused, but you can kind of see it's dripping from that ductwork. And right on top of our walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer, and it's penetrating through the ceiling, coming down the line set. See all that water? Alright guys, so complaint to the call was that water leaking in the walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer. I was here originally just to clean ice machine, but now we got two stores. We got like a convenience store and a little restaurant next to it in the same building. So the building is the one that had a water leak. So as you've seen, the unit above it that's operating the kitchen is leaking through the ductwork. Probably drain overflowed or something. So I'm gonna figure that out. It's leaking on top of the walk-in, and then at the same time, the store next to it has no AC. So I think it's that one, and I believe that now that's the one that's not working at all. The one that's leaking, I believe, is this one. So here's my two condensers for the walk-in. So I believe this is our culprit. It's running. Of course, it's starting to rain. It's like one thing after another. Alright, I just took out one screw on that bottom. So that one's empty. I want to catch it while it's definitely flooded. Let's see. I'm gonna have to fry it out a little bit. Holy moly. I wonder if it's just this traffic. It doesn't look crazy, man. There we go. Guess I could have did that first instead of taking the door off. Oh yeah, look at that. That is the main culprit right there, though. Jeez. filters in here. Doesn't look, I mean, there's some grease in it, but not crazy. It's interesting. I guess I'm gonna grab something to blow that out, flush it, make sure it's all clear in there. And then, which is good, I'm gonna do that real quick so I can hop on the next one. It's starting to pour. Another interesting thing is you can't really pull this off and watch water flow through. I mean, you might get a little bit, but this is a negative pressure, so the airflow is being pulled. Yeah, on this one, yeah, it's being pulled from it, and it even tells you right here, do not operate unit without condensate trap. So see, it's not really flowing, but once I put this on, look at that. Alright, so now I'll make sure that keeps draining. Alright, so I'm not sure which one's which. This one blowing warm air. That one not so much. It feels like it's just blowing air. I don't even think this one's running. Alright. So I traced them out. That one and that one is actually working, but this is not. This one does the left side of the building, and I was getting like 75-degree air. The only thing I did to that one was move the wire on the transformer from 240 to 208. We're getting 208 on that one, so that should help it out a little bit. But this one, she's not too happy. I'm getting warm air, so let me dive into this one and see what we can find. Alright, so looks like my head pressure is a little high, my suction's pretty low. See if you can see that. It's kind of right at 70. Gives it about 15-degree saturated temp. So let me check this coil. Well, look at here. I'm gonna try to de-ice it and let the blower run by itself. Just de-ice it, because they got two other units. It's not gonna be, you know, they'll be working through the weekend, but you know, those two running, it'll get them by through the weekend. And then their maintenance guy is going to come and replace their filters. So that way I can actually get a good, you know, reading on this with the clear coil, clean filters, and make sure everything else is good. So looks like that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna let this thaw out, come back with some clean filters and clean coil, and then check it out. Alright guys, I'm back. So brought a leak detector with me. That's the expensive back rack guy. That ain't mine. That belongs to pretty much anyone that needs it in our shop. We all have our own leak detectors too, but you know, if we can use this, that's pretty accurate. So I try to use that whenever I can. Alright, she's nice and clear now. Alright, so I tried to find a leak but I'm getting absolutely nothing, no hits at all. So I got my gauges hooked up. This is my standing pressure. So doesn't really look like it's running low. But first thing I'm gonna check is the filter dryer. It's the inlet and outlet. So I'm gonna turn it on and check that first before I start diving into this TXV. So it might be in the delay, but get right back on. Our pressures. That section's gonna drop pretty low, I'm pretty sure. Not looking too good right there. Alright, so we're kind of settling out at around 3, close to a 3-degree difference. So it's not horrible, but it's got some stuff in there. Alright, I'm gonna give it some time to run. The only thing different now is that we have the filters out now. They were completely clogged. So now we have much better airflow, de-ice coil. So looks like we got 34 saturated temp and 52. So 16, 18 degree superheat. And then we got 102 and 102. So we got 0 subcool and 16 degree superheat. I mean 18 degrees. So I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. It may need just a little bit more gas in it. But it's barely above freezing point. I wonder if those filters were just killing it. Alright, got my hose hooked up. Ran to the top of the building. Just use my wrench. A little bit of a leaker here. Alright, I brought my water hose up here. Got some cleaner. Alright, so I got it split apart. We got a split condenser coil here, so it's not horrible. Over here is a little bit of gunk. So I'm gonna try to rinse it the best I can. Get it inside of it, inside out. Make sure this is all clear. Yeah, she has some good gunk in there. Try to get it shooting down on the inside as well. Alright, got it all put back together. Nice clean coil. So there shouldn't be a delay. It should start right up. Yep. Alright, so it's been running about 10 minutes now. So I am at 33 saturated temp, 49. So 79, 15. 15, 16 superheat. And then I got 86 and 82. That for subcool. So I had 0 subcool earlier and 18 superheat. So I'm from 18 to 16 and 0 to 4 on my subcool. So it's doing better, but that's just cutting it way too close to 32 degrees. I really think we should replace that TXB. 54 for my supply. I got about 75. So I got like a 21 degree delta T. Alright, so I took the sensor bulb out, so it's not touching the cold suction line no more. I just want to see if it'll make a little bit of a difference. It definitely is. Now I got 36, 32. Woo. Yeah, my pressure went up just a little bit. So if I take this off, I kind of let it sit out here, warm up. Sometimes these will lose some of the charge, or the head will get a little bit stuck, and sometimes that'll free it up. Yeah, I think I need to change this TXV. It's restricting way too much. It's all the way warm, and my suction pressure is going down. Alright guys, so you see me take the sensor bulb out and warm it up. So the valve should try to open and allow more refrigerant through because it thinks the coil is too warm. So, but my pressures went down. You've seen that. My pressures actually went lower. So that's interesting. So you guys seeing I have a 3 degree temperature drop. The sensor bulb warmed up is not opening like it should. It's actually letting less refrigerant in that you're seeing on my gauge. So I would like to replace that TXV and the filter dryer, just to be safe, because that filter dryer, that temperature split's a little too much. But I'm just doing what I'm told, guys. So we're just gonna do the filter dryer for now, and charge it back up, which I'm sure it's gonna do a lot better. But just for precaution's sake, I would prefer to, since I'm opening up the system anyways, and the TXV's right there next to it, I would rather replace that with it. But like I said, just doing what I'm told. I'm gonna recover all the refrigerant and then put a new filter dryer on there, charge it back up. Alright, finally got everything up here with me. Got my torches, got my filter dryer. Might not be able to read it. It's CO53. And I'm trying to get this, make sure this recovery has a good vacuum on it. So I'm gonna let that pull down before I recover it, because I'm gonna try to reuse the refrigerant, and if I need to, I'm gonna top it off with a little bit. Alright, so I bled the line. Got on recovery right now. So just gotta wait a little bit. Alright, I got all the refrigerant out. Got my torches ready. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film brazing this. Not really much of a spot I can put my camera at, but I'm gonna try. So let me try to get this camera in a good spot. Alright, I wasn't able to film it, but here's my filter dryer. Dated. Couldn't see what type it was, so I wrote it on there. So arrow's pointing towards the metering device. Got that on there. Alright, doing a leak test. Been on here for about 15 minutes now. I put it right above 200. And looks like she's holding pretty good. I'm gonna spray this with some bubbles just to be sure, but I don't feel like anything's coming out. I think we might be good. Alright, so got it on vacuum. Just using the one hose. I know it should be a lot better to use that 3/8 rather than 1/4 inch, but I've got to take a lunch anyway, so it's gonna be on here for a while. So I just got the one pipe and going to the low side, high side, furthest away from the system is my micron gauge. So that way I can try to get a pretty accurate reading, and then that way I could ball valve this off. Ball valve this off, leave this on so I can make sure the microns are holding, and then I can close this off before I add refrigerant. That way I don't get too much positive pressure into my micron gauge. So I'll let this run for a while, come back and check on it. Alright, so I'm ready to turn it on. Just double checking my delta T temperature drop off that filter dryer. So I'm gonna turn it on, make sure we got close to nothing. And I do have this liquid to vapor tool. I forgot the name of it. Just a small orifice in there, so that way I could just crack that up and just let it flow through without having to slowly meter it. So here's my standing pressure. These are all closed. This is open, so I got refrigerant in the manifold. Let's check this temperature drop. Much better. That's damn near zero. Try to add the rest of it. Usually I notice it frosting up a little bit right here, and then it's just flashing. There's another one too. I think it's called the Quick Charge. It's a little bit longer, so that one's pretty good too. I like this one because it's just smaller, less room for it. My hose is already super long, so I'm trying to eliminate that as much as possible. Still got damn near zero. but I'm gonna let it take as much as it can. Then I'm gonna close that door up, and then I'm gonna check the superheating subcool, see what we've got going on here. Alright, so we're looking at still like 105, 34 saturated temp, 34 and 42. So 8 degrees subcool. I got 86 and 100 saturated temp, so I got 14 subcool. Yeah, 8 degrees superheat and 14 degrees subcool. So my ambient temperature is 83. I don't know if you can see that. That was 83. So here's my chart. I got 105 suction. So that's way below than the chart even allows. My liquid pressure is right here at about 320. 85 degree ambient is right there. So looks like I'm still having trouble with that meter device trying to push open enough to allow that pressure to get up here. So it looks like that's it on this one, guys. As we thought, that boss man wants to let it ride for now, which is it's interesting too, because I have a pretty good delta T. I know you don't want too much, you know, 21 is probably close to the max that you want to get out. But I mean, I have a good delta T. It's just to the brink of where I think that TXV needs to be replaced. And I even talked to tech support just to be 100% sure. I went through every step with them, and heating and cooling the sensing bulb and going through the pressures on the suction, and they pretty much condemned it too. They said to replace that TXV. So, but I'm just doing what I'm told. I got a new filter dryer in. It's kind of running on this last leg with that TXV. So when I come back and replace it, I'll definitely have to film that so we can see the end story with this guy.